I want Thunderbrand.
And that appears to be the current situation.
The Knights of Saros are one thing. We came prepared to deal with them, and we can do so. But now you say those who slither in the dark have turned this into a three-way battle? Why?
I am as baffled as you regarding a possible motive.
Perhaps it was vital they seized the monastery before we could get here. If they knew we were engaged in a lengthy fight at ALL, they might have seen this as their chance.
Well, they saved Count Varley's life either way. So be it. We will use this situation to our advantage and conduct a rescue. We can't afford to lose Garreg Mach or Count Varley. With one battle, we'll destroy the Central Church and put an end to those who slither in the dark.
Dude, honestly, like, I could see us killing Talus and Rhea in this mission. Ending it with a big Immaculate One fight. Especially because we just had 2 chapters go by, like, lickety-split. And then maybe we have, like, 2 more chapters after that. 1 for the Alliance, 1 for the Kingdom, and finishing them up. Although, I don't know. I don't feel like... Well, maybe. Because, like, part of me is, like, Edelgard's route has to either end with those who slither or fighting the Immaculate One, because that's always, like, her goal, is to eradicate those 2. Dimitri and Claude are kind of, like, stepping stones to that end, at least in 3 houses. I think it would be a little strange if the route ended on... It would be... The weirdest thing would be if the last chapter of the route is beating Claude. I would find that very shocking. Beating Dimitri, maybe? Like, taking Ferdiad is like, that's the final battle? That wouldn't surprise me. Taking Ferdiad was the final battle in 3 Houses Black Eagle's route, but you fought Rhea, aka the Immaculate One, at Ferdiad because you killed Dimitri like a chapter earlier. But I would find it strange if we knock out... Well, also, but I have to remember there's Arval now. Maybe Epimendis, like, isn't actually gone. Maybe he comes back up as, like, a final chapter boss, potentially.
It's strange. I stopped caring about my father a long time ago. But the thought that he might die is... It's...
He is not dead yet, Bernadetta. Unless you intend to be leaving him to his fates.
No. No, of course not. I'm going to save him.
If we're sloppy about this, we'll get dragged into the ongoing battle and suffer heavy losses. I would prefer to make this as easy for ourselves as we can. Let's find out what's going on in there, then look for the safest way in.
I can tell you one thing. If Lord Arundel is here, I will choke the life out of him personally. I'll even let you watch, Your Majesty.
Kinky.
Yes, just try not to overdo it.
If that is settled, we will accomplish nothing more by brooding down here.
Yeah, let's brood up there.
Agreed. We'll begin the attack as soon as our preparations are complete.
I was about to say, is this just a one-fight chapter? I'd be really shocked if this was the last chapter. I'd be, maybe not really shocked, but I'd be very surprised. Like, surely we have to wrap stuff up with... Unless they go the route of, like, after we take out Rhea and Talus, because of that moment we just had with Dimitri and Claude, they're like, oh, yeah, we can, like, be friends or whatever now. Let's do diplomacy instead of continuing to fight, since Rhea and those who slither are gone.
I have a strategy.
I could see that happening, I just doubt it. Increases the chance of raising charm when leveling up.
An idea.
Raising speed when leveling up, absolutely.
Shall we?
You have rejoined your allies. I can't hear Arval anymore. Everything's coming to a head. I've got a feeling this next battle will be the final one. Really? I ought to give this Merc Whistle to someone while I've still got the chance. Really? Really? I don't know how I feel about that. So we're gonna beat Rhea and Talus and then just, like, call it a day as far as the, like, we don't even go and take Ferdiad? Huh. I don't know how I feel about that, if that really is the end. You know what I do feel, though? Before I do a lot of chatting with everyone and whatnot, I really need to use the restroom. I'm sorry, chat. Yeah, I probably won't remember to edit this out, YouTube, but actually this is probably like near the end of a video or something, judging by the time on how long I've been streaming, so maybe I'll remember to edit it out, but I make no promises. But I need to go use the restroom really quickly, so I didn't mean to hit the home button, I meant to hit the start button. I will be back in just a minute, chat. I gotta go use the restroom, and YouTube, if I didn't edit it, I'm sorry. If I did, it'll just be a second for you. If I didn't, just like, you know, hit the right arrow key like 10, 20 times, however much it takes. I will be right back. Hey, YouTube. I don't know if this is the start of the video or if I just did some editing or what, but I'm back from my restroom break. And I have no idea if this is actually the final chapter. The game telling me, like, hey, use the Merc Whistle, this feels like the final battle. I mean, I don't know how else I'm supposed to interpret that other than, hey, it's the final fight. And honestly, if it is the last one, I don't really know how I feel about that. I mean, the game's been long, don't get me wrong. It's not like, oh no, it's too short. Because we're at what? Yeah, we're almost at 60 hours, actually, which is pretty good time when you've got 3 routes total to do. But I just feel like there's still so much more that could be done. Like, are they really not going to have us overtake Ferdiad, deal with Claude, and deal with Dimitri?
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army.
I'm gonna be a little shocked. Just a wee bit. We have to do so many supports in a row now. I was expecting to still have a couple of chapters of, like, having multiple fights to do, but, like, the last 3 chapters have all just been fight, 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 and nothing else. Can we do Byleth's? Yeah, we can do Byleth's A rank now. It might very well be the... I wasn't planning on finishing this game today. What am I gonna stream on Wednesday if this game ends today? Let's chat with everyone. Get that done like we normally do. We'll use all of our training points. We'll use all of our activity points. Before we use any activity points, I'm going to look very closely at people who still need A-rank supports and try and make sure I get any supports that I'm missing that I really want to see. Hello, Lysithia.
Let's see.
If those who slither in the dark are trying to wipe out the Emperor and the Archbishop at the same time, then we have to win no matter what. We should also expect their leader to show up. The problem is I won't be able to get the information I need during a chaotic fight, which means I'll simply have to subdue them. They won't slip through my fingers. Bum 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 bum. Garreg Mach is ours, and so too is the work of defending it. Unfortunately, our opponents are far more familiar with the monastery than we are. This will be a most arduous battle. We've got this. We're fully prepared to stop. Yes, you were right. Perhaps I was underestimating our abilities.
I am honest.
Let us meet them head-on. I, Ferdinand von Eyre, shall ensure our victory. Hello, Geralton Leone. I always thought a mercenary just had to do exactly what their employer said, but I still find myself wondering what my reasons are for fighting, or what'll happen to my allies if we lose. What about you? Do you ever think about that stuff, or do you just focus on fighting? Yeah, I think about it, especially now that I have my own troops.
I get it.
Huh. Well, it's good to know I'm not the only one. Okay, I feel like I can see this fight through now.
Hey.
Hey, you don't know anything about when you were born, right? Hope nothing weird happened to you back then, though I have my concerns. I don't remember anything prior to my mom finding me. Not where I was or what I was doing. Nothing. So I have no idea what happened to me in the past.
No way.
Well, that's not just you. No one can remember things from when they were that young. If there was only a way we could find out more. Dude, like, I still feel like there's so much more that the game could do. Still more about Rogue's past, more about Arval, other than just, like, the whole Epimendis thing. Because, like, we didn't even go that deep on Epimendis. Dealing with, like, how the war is going to conclude after this Garreg Mach fight. Like, I feel like there's so much more that the game could still do. Is it really going to end right here? Baron Barnabas, the general in charge of Garreg Mach, is an upstanding, amiable fellow. He would defend the monastery with his life if it came to it, but we must make sure that doesn't happen. The Empire would also suffer a grave loss were he to die. What am I? I'm only a little over an hour. Like, we have enough time to do this main mission, even after we do all these supports and everything else. YouTube is about to be treated to 3 videos in a row of me just talking to people, though. When I'm returning to Bridget, I can be holding my head high, because I'm thinking our relationship with the Empire will be fine now. I hope someday more people will be going between Bridget and Fódlan. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Got a minute?
We might have more fighting to do after this, but I got a feeling. This next battle's gonna determine Fódlan's future. You should probably start thinking about your next steps. You know, what you're gonna do once the fighting's over. I've been thinking about what justice really means ever since I left Fargus. You've been having a whole character arc off screen, dude. And I still haven't figured it out. I wonder if I ever will. You'll work out what it means to you someday, even if it's a struggle now. Thanks, Rogue. Yeah, whatever. At last, we will finally annihilate those who slither in the dark. There were times I had to fight alongside them after the Emperor hired me. But they truly make my blood boil. I will crush them like the insects they are.
Listen.
I warn you, do not get in my way. Wouldn't dream of it, buddy. These marches over every hill and dale in this weather have been ruthless. It's difficult enough to walk, let alone fight battles. Everything has been utterly insufferable. I suppose that's to be expected in a war. Walking over hills does suck, dude. You said it. We've been marching our feet off lately. At least when the war's over, we won't have to travel around as much. I certainly hope so. I wouldn't mind the exhaustion if I were on a research trip, but this is ridiculous. What even... I saw... There's the Merc Whistle option there, and I'm like, what even is Linhardt's unique thing? I don't remember. Probably something to do with healing. I've cut off contact with my adoptive father for now, but I believe I will return home someday. So I want to fight as hard as I can alongside all of you while I'm here. This will be a significant battle for Fódlan's future, after all. It really feels end of the game, E. On one hand, I'm like, all that stuff we just went through was amazing and I loved it, and I'm super interested to see how it wraps up here. On the other, however, I'm like, there are so many more things that could be done. I'm worried that I'm going to feel a little dissatisfied at the end, kind of like how I was at the end of Three Houses Black Eagle's route, where I was like, man, they definitely could have done more. There could have been like more stuff to wrap up nicer. Most of this war is behind us, which means fewer chances to make a name for myself. I need to pull out all the stops in the next battle, or you're gonna leave me in the dust. Seriously, though, I've got your back if you got mine, Rogue. You sure that's what you want? What's the problem? If you can't keep up, I'll leave you behind. What a lad. Love my boy Caspar.
Hear me out.
Yep, I called it. I knew you were going places. Now I can just follow your lead and try not to get killed. You know what they say, the better things are going, the more arrows come your way. Maybe they're saving some gas for DLC? Huh? I feel like if they wanted to do that, they could do DLC, like... They could have DLC be about maybe, like, attacks from Almira or Dagda doing something instead of being like, hey, dude, we added, like, 2 chapters to the end of the game because we didn't wrap it up nicely enough. That would be a little lame, but I guess we'll see. The Valley of Torment lived up to its name, all those people crammed into that narrow ravine. I'll never forget the sight of it for as long as I live, no matter how much I wish I could scrub it out. I need to think about something else. What's next? Are we all ready to go? No one to talk to in there. My sincerest apologies for not noticing the Archbishop's movements. By the time I realized what was happening, her forces were already marching on Garreg Mach. But at least they were hindered somewhat when that third force arrived and caused so much confusion. It was helpful in a way.
So I've been thinking.
The Minister of Religious Affairs. Alright, he's a bishop now. In any case, Count Varley is currently holed up in Garreg Mach, right? Personally, I'd love to hear him cry like a stuck pig. But I suppose with the way things are, we have no choice but to rescue him. What happened between you and Count Varley? Did you fight over having purple hair? Did something happen between you two? I had no idea you even knew each other. He put me through a great deal of pain a long time ago. It was my own fault, but still. I just can't believe there wasn't anyone else more suited to act as the Southern Church's bishop. As a believer, I have more than a few reservations about someone like him heading the church. I hope all our great leaders will take that into consideration after the war. Count Varley's just like a figurehead at the moment. I do hope the bishop is alright. If perchance he were to pass away, I wonder who would take his place in the Southern Church. No, that is most inappropriate to say. Right now, we must focus on rescuing him. Ingrid and Sylvain were both dear friends to me. They fought so bravely to protect what they believed in. I'm not sure I could ever do that myself. That's why I think they were so incredible. Yo, the one good thing about the game potentially ending in this chapter is that it sounds like my boy Felix is going to get away alive. And then I can just headcanon that he and Dorothea got together somehow, unless the game does the thing at the end like Three Houses where Dorothea ends up with someone. Death shall not come for you in this battle, the stars have decreed it, though they do get things wrong sometimes. At the very least, you should steer clear of bridges. It should appear you're in danger of fall. It would appear you're in danger of falling. What? Look out for bridges, I guess. Bark, bark.
Excuse me.
Let's get a move on, Commander. I've got friends defending Garreg Mach. I don't care if we're squaring off with those awful Dark Mages or the Knights of Seiros. We're definitely gonna win, right? All I've done is fight for more than 2 years. You've been warming the bench for 2 years, Manuela. I've hardly had an opportunity to find that special someone. And now here we are. I'm in the same boat. Same here. Never mind. Yes, I would appreciate it if you didn't compare yourself to me when you still have so many years ahead of you. All right, calm down. I get it. You're very selfish and only think of yourself.
Excuse me.
I was actually born in the town underneath Garreg Mach. I was worried when the Empire first took over, but day-to-day life hardly changed there at all. If anything, I hear business has picked up. Not that it affects me. Garreg Mach's smack dab in the middle of Fódlan, right? I know it's got historical significance, but is it really worth sacrificing so many lives over? It's sacred ground, apparently. It's a holy site, and the church has their believers to consider. They can't afford to lose it.
What do you think?
Couldn't they just give up and build a monastery somewhere else? Though I guess that's easier said than done. Gatekeeper.
Greetings, friend. Nothing to report.
Greetings, Commander. Nothing to report. I wonder who's guarding my old gate now. I'm dying to know, but I can't leave my post to join the rescue.
Really appreciate
Would you
it.
drop by and find out for me, please? Okay. I hate Alois.
If I'm honest.
Garreg Mach has many tunnels that lead outside the mountains and plenty of secret passages that we don't even know about. Needless to say, Lady Rhea knows the layout of the monastery like the back of her hand.
Concerning.
Add in another enemy force and who knows what might happen. We better make sure we're fully prepared. Good luck out there, rogue.
Got a minute?
The Knights of Seiros weren't out in full force at Aliel, words. The rest of them must have been on their way to Garreg Mach. Keep a close eye on the Emperor. They'll try anything. You got it, Shamir.
Got a second?
I honestly don't know if I have the guts to turn my sword against the Archbishop. I mean, Rhea. But if those are my orders, then I must carry out my duty as an Imperial General. I just really hope we don't get hit with some kind of divine retribution for capturing or killing her. Yeah, she's gonna turn into a giant dragon and we're gonna have to, like, murder her dead.
How may I help you?
Do you have need of me? Perhaps you wish me to aid you at Garreg Mach? Feel free to use me as a decoy or make me pretend to surrender or have me sabotage them from underground. I care not what I do. Wait,
What?
sabotage? Are you plotting something?
Can I be of use?
Not really. I just have a talent for destruction after all my failed experiments. Oh, nice B rank. Oh, you can see Garreg Mach in the distance. That's neat. Someone in chat pointed out.
Actually,
It feels so weird that we're going to help my father. Not that I'm against it. I can't wait to see him cry.
Right on.
That's the spirit. Teach him a lesson. Not that I know what for, but yeah.
right.
Yeah, I can do this. Bum, bum, bum. I feel like Byleth is the one I should talk to last, if this really is the last
Please,
chapter. I'm so relieved the Alliance hasn't done anything suspicious. Yeah, I'm honestly, shocked. Their leader, Claude, is noted for his schemes. It is not out of the realm of possibility he would try something. But with all our forces gathered like this, I don't think there's any cause for concern, unless something drastic happens.